Welcome, everyone. So it is the day before school starts here, and I know I, for one, am running around like a chicken with my head cut off, anxious about getting everything ready. Things that I thought would be finished in the summer, things that I didn't get done for tomorrow, trying to get all of the chaos, all of the stuff ready. And I started thinking about what's really important. What are the things that I really need to get done? Does it matter that my garden isn't in? Does it matter that I don't have all the perfect lunch stuff ready for tomorrow? And I started thinking about what really matters. So I started kind of reflecting on this a couple weeks ago as I was sitting in Staples and I saw a parent that almost was losing her mind because she didn't know what watercolor markers were. And I thought, it's not about watercolor markers. It's not about the right pair of shoes. It's not about the right brand of clothing. What it's about is making kids feel like they belong, is making them feel like they fit in. And we attempt to do this by buying all of the right school supplies that are on the list, by giving them the right brand of clothing to wear. But the reality is, that's not what makes us belong. It's not about the right clothes. It's not about the right watercolor markers. It's about how do we feel like we fit. So the first step that I want to talk about is how do we make that feeling of belonging in our classrooms, in our sports, in our teams. The first step is letting those kids know you belong here. I was expecting that you were coming. I knew that you were going to be here. So it's things like name tags. It's things like a check-in list. So if you have a team, when you're calling out their names, you have a way of saying, I knew you were coming and you belong here. So whatever that looks like, having a space for them to go to, having an activity that you know that they might like, just giving that way of knowing, I knew you were coming and I'm so glad you're here. This was a big thing for me. After running groups for several years, I started greeting kids in the beginning by saying, I'm so glad you're here. And in working with kids who have challenges, the number one response I got back was confusion. The kids would respond, why are you glad I'm here? And I said, well, I'm excited to get to know you. I was a little nervous starting a group and I didn't know what you'd think of me. And I'm just really glad that you're here and I'm excited to get to know each other. And across the board, there was a lot of kids who said to me, nobody's ever really excited to see me. And the more they get to know me, the less excited they are that I'm here. So I don't think that's going to happen for us. And I realized that quite often, not intentionally, we comment about, oh, I really like that shirt, or oh, you got really cool shoes. And the kids that don't have cool shoes, the kids that had to wear the same shirt that they wore last year to the first day of school, those kids don't get the message that I fit. They don't get the message that I'm happy to see you. So we need to be really good at letting them know, I'm just really glad you're here. I'm excited to get to know you and we're going to have a great year together. And it starts with you as the teacher, as the coach, as the leader to set that stage that I am so glad you're here. And the more that we get to know each other, the better this is going to be. Once you've connected to that kid and you've let them know that I'm so glad you're here, the next piece is that we need to connect our group. So we need to let them know that we have a team, whether it's a classroom, whether it's a sports team, whether it's a group. We need to let them know that they belong together and that they all have an important piece of this puzzle. And the way that we do that is by letting them know that we have things in common. And I like to play games with my kids to just let them know a little bit about me. So it might be as simple as letting them know that I have a new puppy. And I'm learning a lot about myself in raising this puppy and how difficult it is to stay calm sometimes, as she likes to be really crazy. Sometimes it's sharing your favorite sports teams, your favorite movies, things that you like to do, whether you like to camp, whatever it is. So When we do that, the message that we give to kids is there is something about you that's just like me. And when we feel that commonality, that's what connects us. So the next step that we do is once we've connected to our group, once we've kind of let them know a little bit about ourselves, that we're not this kind of big, scary adult person who's going to tell me what to do, but that we're human, that we get a little nervous about the first day of school, that we get a little nervous about meeting new kids. What that does is it connects us on a level where it says, I can be vulnerable with you, and it opens the door for those kids to be vulnerable with you in return. Then you're going to connect the group with each other. Same way. So I talk a lot about affiliation. How do we connect that group together? How do we let them know that you're more alike than you are different? You all have unique roles. You all have things that you do for yourselves, but we are alike in so many different ways. So I play Just Like Me games, which is just a little movement activity where we put kids in a circle and we throw out a comment. So it might be something like, my favorite color is red. If your favorite color is red, you stand up. And then you sit back down. You say, my favorite food is pizza. And you stand up if that applies to you. You might throw in a comment about some emotion stuff, introducing that gentle concept of vulnerability. I was a little nervous about coming to school this morning. Stand up. I am really excited about a new movie that's coming out. Stand up. So the idea here is you're never forcing a child to stand up. You're never saying to them, okay, well, I know that your favorite color is green. You need to stand up. They always have control over how much they share or what that looks like. But what it does is every time they stand up, what you'll start to notice is they look around to say, who's in my group? And that's how they connect with each other. So what you need to do is, as you're leading this exercise, you're really conscious of who's standing up at the same time. Because what you want to do is make sure that all of those kids have something in common with every other kid in that group, so that there's something that they feel, we belong in this group together. Yeah. So the next piece, once we've developed these little connection games, the last thing you're going to do is be really good to yourself. So when kids are coming into school in that chaos, trying to feel like, did I get the right shoes? Did I get the right school supplies? And parents are feeling this too. They're wondering, did I meet the standard to belong to this group? What you're going to keep coming back to them with is, it's all good here. And for you to be able to do that, for you to be able to pick up on their cues when they're feeling uncomfortable or they're feeling like they don't belong. If you're feeling stressed and you're feeling overwhelmed, you're not going to be able to do that. So choose 2 or 3 things that you're going to do this week to help you get through the week, to be able to come from that place of feeling calm, feeling ready for these kids, feeling like you can really create that space where they feel like they fit. So give yourself a deadline of, I'm going to leave the school by 5 o'clock, or I'm going to leave the field by 7 o'clock, so that you have some downtime, because you're really going to need it this week. Odds are this past week, you've worked really, really hard getting your classroom set up, getting your plans set, getting all of your little activities sorted out. So this week is a time where you need to stay super centered. It's not about the activities, it's about connection. So make sure that you've got that settled. Give yourself bedtime. Make sure that you have a little routine, whether it's having a bath, whether it's using some essential oils, or reading a good book that has nothing to do with planning or prep, but that you can just enjoy and let your mind and your body just settle and relax. Possibly the third thing is get moving, get outside. We are just a snippet away from the snow coming. So let's get outside, maybe enjoy some of this fresh fall air and just reconnect. So my hope is 5 little things to help you get off to a really strong start for your year. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you used it and how it went. If you're interested, you can follow along with us at tothestars.ca, sign up for our newsletter, and we'll see you in about a week with the next little tidbits. Hope you have an awesome week, and remember, be super good to yourself.